Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Heather, and today, guess what I have to share with you? It is a pink sewing machine from Singer. I had been eyeing getting a Singer heavy duty for a very long time, and when they dropped this Rosewater Pink one, I was done for. I have never added something to my cart so fast in my life, so I'm here to talk to you about it. First of all, this video is not sponsored or anything. I purchased this machine with my own money, and like I said, I had been eyeing the heavy duty series for several reasons for a while. One being that I have had a backup machine. I just like to have one in case one needs to go in for service, things like that. And so I had always hung on to my beginner machine, which was a very good machine, but I had always kind of been intrigued by the heavy duty option on this machine. Now I know it's not an industrial machine, but it will handle heavier duty materials, which is great. So I knew I had wanted to maybe swap those machines out at some point, and when I saw this pink one come, that's it. That's all it took for me. So here she is. Now, I would have unboxed it for you. However, I couldn't get it to ship here, so I sent it to my parents, who sent it to me, and they made them write all over the box. So I can't really show you because addresses and stuff are all over the box, but very nice box too, with the pretty pink machine picture on the front. So yeah, we're gonna jump in and talk about this. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of sewing content, fashion content, things like that. So definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and coming along for more content like that. I am gonna show you the top of the box and some of the things that came with this machine. So this part I can safely show you. You can see the picture of the machine to your left there, and all the feet it came with, which we have a glide foot, a walking foot, a buttonhole foot, standard foot, zipper foot, and a button foot. Then I'm sorry that I don't know the term for this, for the thicknesses, but we have this little gadget here. And then we've got some extra needles that come with it, an extra peg so that you can use 2 spools of thread if you would like. It came not with just the 3 bobbins, but a 4th that's actually was in the case when I opened it. We have the seam ripper / cleaning brush there, more needles, foot pedal down there in the bottom. Again, something I don't know the technical term for, but the little soft buffer that goes on your peg for your thread. Then you've got the 2 different stops, a large and a small. Got the quilting guide here, and then the sort of little catch-all tool that takes your needle off and on and things like that. So this machine here is the Singer Heavy Duty 4452 model. There are, I think, 3 other models, possibly more in that series. I am not an expert here. This is really just a first impressions review and sort of sharing with you what comes with part of the machine, what some of the features are. But what I could kind of tell from some of the key differences, at least with this model, is that there were more stitch functions. There is a 1-step buttonhole process foot, as opposed to a 4-step process that the 4411, I believe, has. And the actual size of the machine on this one, I believe, had smaller dimensions than some. The dimensions varied a little bit. So just some different things across the board, as well as what the accessories are that the machine comes with. So this one had some extra accessories from like the 4411. Again, I am not an expert on this machine by any means, but I have seen and heard that this is a really good choice for a beginner to intermediate sewist. It's very straightforward, and I do agree with that from the little testing I have done. I've done a little testing taking it out of the box already because I plan to use this to do some demos for students. I just started teaching some sewing classes, and the machines there have a front-loading bobbin where this has a top-down, so I took it in and actually showed them that there can be differences there. So I went ahead and played around with it enough just to be able to show them some different functionalities from machine to machine. This Rosewater Pink was so beautiful. I couldn't resist, especially when I had been thinking about this machine for a while. Like I said, I just wanted to swap it out with my previous, that I have sold now, backup machine, just for the heavy-duty function. It has a metal frame on the inside, so I think that's supposed to make it quite a bit more durable. I think there are still some plastic components, but the frame is metal. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. And yeah, let's take it over to the work table and take a little closer look at it. All right, there are all those items that I mentioned that come with the Singer 4452, plus a dust cover that I forgot to mention because we love to keep our machines nice and dust-free, and all of the instructions that it came with, but I believe the full manual is actually on the website. So taking a closer look, we have our length dial right here, followed by our stitch dial on the front of the machine and our hand wheel there to the right. And we have our reverse lever. On the top of the machine, we do have our bobbin winder. We have our width dial, needle position, and tension dial, the components for threading the machine, as well as winding the bobbin. You can see the little screw right there that the thread feeds through. We have our peg for the thread right there in the back, which is horizontal on this particular machine, and our handle. All right, so one of the nice features of this machine is that this little tray here is removable, and it also has a storage compartment, which you'll see right here. Nice and handy. You can put your different feet and things in there. And of course, because this is removable, that also gives us the shorter arm on the machine for working around things like armholes on sleeves and different things like that. Got the nice little handle for carrying it, which I love. And I just want to show you real quick sort of threading a bobbin and the kind of power that the machine has. So I have a bobbin handy. This machine takes class 15 plastic bobbins. I read online not to do metal, but if anybody knows if that's not true, please let me know, because I was a little surprised by that. But so class 15 bobbin right here. This spool is going to be horizontal on this machine, and you're going to hook through the first hook, come around a loop underneath that screw. I'm going to go ahead and pop this through a little hole onto my bobbin winder and slide it to the right. The foot pedal is down beneath me. It's just one of those plastic sort of lightweight pedals. Got a grip on this, and let's give it a go. Now that I have a little bit on there, I'm going to snip it down. All right, so you can hear how quickly that went at full speed. Obviously, I think you have the most control with slightly less, but it does a pretty darn good job, even at full speed, getting that wound really nice and even. So now I'm going to go ahead and pop it into the bobbin case down here. Get it set up so that we can do a little test piece here in a minute. Then we're going to get the machine threaded. All right, you're still going to go through that number 1, number 2, following the numbers as most machines do have, around the 4, up through the bunny on 5, down through 6. There is like a metal hook right down here you want to go behind, and then the smaller hook that is right in front of the needle. And then this does have a threader, which is fantastic. So just going to go ahead and hook under both of those and pull our thread through. And we are about ready to test. Just pull that bobbin thread up. I'm going to crank the hand wheel towards me one time, and up she comes. All right, that's back on. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap fabric that I'm going to show you sort of the power of the machine. All right, so I happen to have a lot of scrap fabric because I just started on a project that I can't wait to share with you all very soon here. And I'm going to slide this in at 4/8 for now. And then I'm just going to lower the arm in the back to bring the presser foot down. Go ahead and get started. Back stitch, and here we go. All right, so you could hear that was pretty darn quick at full speed. That was something that really, I don't know why it surprised me, but it definitely did. You can see my very pink stitching here on my cotton poplin. And yeah, it does a really good job. It has great speed. And one thing I did notice too is that even though there's not a speed control, I feel like the foot has nice sensitivity in terms of being able to slow it down or speed it up. So I really appreciate that as well. All right, so that was just a quick look at the functions and features of this machine that I am aware of. I did say that the lever for the foot pedal was black. It's actually gray, definitely gray on the back of the machine here. But first impressions, like I said, I've done a little bit of testing with it. Very impressed with the power it seems to have. That is the thing that I think caught me the most off guard. I just couldn't believe how quickly the machine took off when I started sewing on it. So very impressed by that. Very impressed with how quickly the bobbin winds. And, you know, it's really not that heavy. To me, I've seen some people say the machines are kind of heavy, but I think I'm just, again, used to my other machine being really heavy. So to me, this felt really lightweight. I think it's maybe about 10 pounds when I got it. And hello, I'm in love with the color. I mean, I absolutely love the color. I think for the reason that I bought this machine, which like I said, was to have a backup or second machine, a machine I can teach with, and something that is capable of doing some heavier duty projects, which like I said, it's not an industrial machine, but it will handle, from what I understand, a lot of heavier weight materials. I have seen good reviews from other people on that. This here is just a first impressions, but if you want me to do a deeper dive as I do more on this machine, please let me know. So far though, I feel really good about it. I really do like how it handles. I think it's very user-friendly, so I think definitely a good choice for a beginning sewist. There's not a lot of guesswork here. Everything is laid out really nicely for you. And again, it's so nice that they offer it in these colors. Now, like I said, the heavy duty line has several different models with different features, so you can definitely take a look at that and see if any of those might be right for you or be a better fit. This particular machine was $269 when I purchased it, plus tax, and I don't remember if shipping was included or not, but so that'll obviously vary a little bit person to person. I think the 4411 model with the darker pink, I want to say is maybe $229, so there's a little price difference with having the additional stitches and also the one-step buttonhole and yeah, some things like that. So minor differences. Something I also love about this machine is that it came with a walking foot. This is something I've noticed with lots of machines. They don't come with a walking foot, and to me, I feel like that's a pretty standard foot for a lot of projects. It's something I use regularly enough that I would definitely want one, and so that alone for me makes up the additional cost. Definitely love that it came with that. So, I mean, obviously people might have a different opinion there, but for me, I think that's really good that it came with it. So I was really happy about that as well. So I'm very excited to have this baby in the sewing room. So thank you, Singer, for coming out with more pink machines. I was maybe just a little bit envious of everyone who got the darker pink back when it was launched, because I totally missed that and I had been a little sad about it. And so when I saw this one come out, I jumped on it immediately. And I might have to get the other one too. I really like the dark one too. And I think maybe my reasoning could be using it as a student machine sometimes, as something I could take and allow students to use from time to time. I don't know, but I'm kind of eyeing the dark one too. I'm not gonna lie. They're both really pretty. And so yeah, if you want me to keep you updated about this machine, like I said, please let me know. Do you have a Singer Heavy Duty? I would love to know how you are getting along. Do you have a pink one? Did you jump on this train as well? Because I surely did. I'll have more videos coming to you very soon here. I know it's been a little while. I will talk about that later, but I hope this video helped you out a little bit if you've been thinking about snagging one. My first impressions are definitely very good. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're getting along with your Singer Heavy Duty, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.